Welcome to the Big Movement Podcast. If you're ready to create results and make huge strides in your business, finances, personal development, and health, then you're in the right place. Pushing past excuses and powering through procrastination can be a challenge alone. Here, you'll get the support, tools, and knowledge you need to get to the level you desire in your business and life. Let's get started with your host, Byron Ingram.
And welcome to another episode of the podcast. And today we're talking about why perseverance is a must in business. Let's face it, in business, there will be great times, and then there will be times that will make you want to question why in the world, in the first place, did you go on this journey to go into business for yourself. Regardless, you must have the perseverance to succeed if you want to create success in any business. Because if you don't have it, how are you going to stomach the hard things that are come up? Because we live in this world that when people say, I'm embarking on this great adventure, I'm going to create this new business, we want to be filled with hope and excitement. We're pumped, like, yes, I'm going to conquer the world. I'm going to just take it all over. We have so much energy, excitement. We like, just imagine yourself. You're at the base of Mount Everest. You're like, I'm running straight to the top and nothing's getting in your way. And then you stub your toe. And that's what really happens when we're talking about business. We hit that first little obstacle and everything falls apart a little bit. Because naturally, we want to gravitate towards the positive things in life, which, it's a great thing, but it can sometimes create this false sense of hope that is dangerous because we live in this world where we focus just on the positive things. Because you think about how many people have started a business, whether it's in real estate, network marketing, whatever. And they say, oh my gosh, this is the most incredible thing ever. I'm going to put this one post out, and then all of my 5,000 friends are going to come running to me. And then they do it, and the only like they get is from their mom. And that's the reality we live in, that not everything's going to go the way that we want. Because as much as we would love everything to go perfect, it's not how it happens when we go into the business world. Because when we enter the business world, we're going to be tested. We're going to be tried, and we're going to be measured. And it's about how we weather the storm. Think of it this way. It's like a multiple choice test when you had to take in school. Well, kind of not like that, but similar. That you're going to get that one test, you're going to be like, oh, crap. You did everything you thought you could to prepare for it. And you see the first question, you're like, oh, crap, I have no idea what this teacher is asking for. I'm just going to guess C. And sometimes that's what it's like. Because in business, you're going to have great times, and you're going to have the not so good ones. Or, you're going to have the good ones, but you're going to have to persevere. Because it's so easy in life. Because we live in this world, you look at all the reality TV shows from the Kardashians to whatever, and I couldn't really tell you who else is out there because I don't watch TV. But when you look at this, it's so easy to look at people who are highly successful and think, oh, they have it so easy. Look at this lavish life they have. The reality is we don't know someone's backstory. We don't know what it took for someone to get there. Think about, let's say, the NFL. How many players out there you think, oh my gosh, they get that multi-million-dollar contract. You might not know that person might have grown up in a single-parent home where there were many times they went to bed at night, they went to sleep hungry. Or when they closed their eyes at night, they didn't know if, they were going to get robbed at night or anything like that. You don't know someone's backstory. So we have to remember that most successful people have some type of a struggle they've gone through. It's a journey. It's not this little walk in the park where you show like, congratulations, you've won your keys to the world-class entrepreneurship. You're going to just walk through these gates and everything's going to be perfect. No, it's more like you just got kicked out of the house. It's like, go make it happen. You're like, oh, crap. And it's cold, it's rainy, and you got an umbrella that leaks. So the reality is we have to work for what we want. And not everything's going to go perfect. Because when we remember that and we keep that in mind, then we're prepared to know that when we work hard and we have that vision, that those bad times when they come up, they're not going to stop us. They're not going to slow us down. Because we have to remember, each and every one of us has our own journey. It's not going to be like somebody else's. So you can use that inspiration like, well, that dude can do it. I know I can. Use it for the motivation, but you know that the things that you happen to you in your life are going to be different. Because it comes down to something simple. Since each and every one of us grows up in a different part of the world, it comes down to we all have the possibility to create success. It comes down to one thing. How bad do we want it? And sometimes I'll hear people say, well, just people from my neighborhood, we people can't make it, or it's just a bunch of crap. And you know what my response is? It's a bunch of BS. You know why? Every year, if you just look hard enough, look at the number of people that have immigrated to the United States, where they might have came here with a suitcase or two and a couple $100, if that. And now they've made millions. Why? Because they had a burning desire to succeed, and they weren't going to let anything get in their way. They scraped, they hustled, they did everything they could just to get the ticket to come here where it's full of opportunity. And they worked for it. Because there's so many people, the first time it gets hard, like, oh no, I'm just going to go back home and live with mom. Well, look, you have to look at some of these people. They don't have that opportunity. They burned the boats, or the plane ticket in this case, in modern world. They didn't have the opportunity to go back. They had to make it work. It comes back down to when you want something as bad as breathing, you will find a way to make it work. That's what perseverance is all about. You have to push through the hard times. Because you have to remember, these people, they didn't have everything handed to them. Just like you. And when you know what you want, and you know you could do anything in the world to get there, you're going to do whatever it takes. Think about the times in life when you knew for certain, like, oh yes, I want to win that. And you work your tail off. Whether it was getting an A on a test or whatever, you put everything, it's like, oh, friends like, oh, we're going to go out for a beer, we're going to go play, whatever. Like, no, I got to study. And then how great it felt when you accomplished that goal. How did you feel? Was it empowering? You've got to lock on that feeling, knowing that that's the feeling that's going to carry you through all the hard times that will come up along your journey. Because when you look at things in life, you have two choices. You can either become comfortable with how life is, which for the sad majority of people are comfortable. If you just look at what happens in the news media, you look at what happens on Facebook, you see people who are comfortable. All they want to do is complain about why some people have this and why they don't. Complaining's not going to get you anywhere. When they had a hard time, did they just say, well, I guess the way it is? No, they said, well, this is some BS. And they push through. If you're going through hell, you don't stop, halfway through like, oh, look at the scenery. No, you keep on going. It's hot. You just push through. That's what you have to do in life. Because no matter what, if you become comfortable with where you are, that becomes where you will stay. There's tons of examples out there. Think of a goldfish. If it's used to being in that little small bowl, and that's its safety zone, and you put it in a larger bowl, guess what it's going to do? It's going to stay in that same little area where it's been comfortable at its whole life, until there's an outside force that knocks it out of its comfort zone. It's going to stay in that thing. But so many times, guess what happens? It's going to come right on back to where its comfort zone is. And that's what happens to so many people, because they get comfortable where they are, because they weren't going to persevere through the hard times to get past what was holding them back. So you have to decide for yourself, do you want to be that goldfish who just swims on that little small castle that's full of gunk because the person didn't clean the fish bowl for a while, and that becomes your life? Or you're going to be willing to jump out of that fish bowl because, oh, by the way, it's sitting next to the ocean, and take a risk to become a bigger fish out there to swim and see some things. Don't just ignore the fact that there's sharks and other things out there. But you got to be willing to put yourself out there, because that's the world we live in. That when you jump out there, you're going to leave that comfort zone like, oh, everything's perfect, nothing's going to bad happen out here, because some things are going to happen. Be like, well, crap, that sucked. You're still alive. You keep pushing through. Look at your life right now. Did everything go perfect? No. I'm sure you could probably think of a dozen things you're like, well, ouch, that hurt. But you look back and you're like, I did it. I made it through it. You've got to just keep doing it time and time again. Because the life that you desire means that you have to embrace that passion, that burning desire to achieve your goals. and be willing to punch through those times which burn and hurt to get there. Because remember, not every day is going to be perfect, nor everything in life will go your way. But always remember, the number of wins you ultimately experience in life will outweigh the negative ones you encounter along the way. That's just how it goes. And lastly, I want you to keep this in mind. Remember, you will always, and I mean this wholeheartedly, you're always going to miss 100% of the shots you never take in life. So what that means to you is, if you have an opportunity to make something happen, you take it. If it doesn't work, so what? Get back up. If someone knocks you down, get back up. Don't stay lying down in life. The only time it's successful to lie down in life is if you're on the beach someplace, having a little water in my case since I don't drink or anything, enjoying the fruits of success. That's when you can lie down. Or you can lie down and take a nap. But until then, you have to get up and you have to fight for what you want every single day. You have to show up like you want it. And that's what I challenge you today. Get up there and start swinging. Because unless you do, you're always going to be missing. And life is too short to miss out on the success that you deserve. So go out there and persevere through the hard times, because I promise you, the good stuff at the end of the road is well worth it. So you found value in today's episode. Do me a huge favor. Share this out there, because someone out there, I promise you, needs this inspiration to push through any hard time they might be experiencing.
Thanks for listening to the Big Movement Podcast today. And be sure to subscribe so you don't miss an episode. Now that you've surely been inspired to take your entrepreneurial career and business to the next level, you can stop by the website and get more. And if you're ready to boost your business brand, be sure to grab your free report, 7 Easy Steps to Build Your Brand Today.